Hello, everybody. Man, that tea tastes good. Welcome back to some Fallout 4. Okay, good. This game, because obviously I have the music turned off for copyright and that, but every time I start this game until I pull out my gun and hear that click, you know, I always question whether or not I have sound. So I got our 3 locations for today. I'm gonna stick with doing 3 locations because I feel like doing more than 3 is risky because 3 locations, right? If 1 or 2 of them takes a little bit longer, like if they're locations I'm not really familiar with or something, they could take a little bit longer, and then because most of the big locations I'm gonna know those, and I'm gonna know that they need to be done in their own part, right? But locations like this, it's hard to tell exact. Oh, apparently they were target practicing settlers. Uh, but locations like Walden Pond, as you just saw pop up there, it's a little bit trickier to know exactly how long it's going to take me to get through there. It's not a huge location, but it's not super small. Now, the one location we're doing is super small, and I say that we're clearing 3 locations. Really, we're basically clearing 2. And the only reason we're doing these ones is because I was going to do a different location, because the last location we're going to do in this part actually links up to the location that we're going to start the next part with. Which, to be fair, wasn't even a location I was planning on doing right away. Because if we look at the map, right, here's the Corvega assembly plant. But if you look at the roads, right, we're up in this corner, and we have the road here that goes down like that, and then you have this nice little intersection. We're kind of up in this corner, right? So I was basically going to clear everything in this corner of the highway, and then we could pop over to the Corvega assembly plant to clear that, and then maybe just take the map, try and do it section by section. It doesn't work perfectly because obviously not the highways and whatnot don't perfectly encircle it. If you look here, you could say go down this way and just keep going down, but then you go down and then you end up with all of this because the highway is only on the left hand side, right? So that's yeah, so that doesn't really work out too well. Blood leaf, don't remember these at all. Pick them up and put them in the clinic. I don't know if the clinic's screwed up yet or not. Well, it wasn't at the start of this video because I hadn't moved since the end of that part. Kickballing. Somebody's playing kick the can. I think I've went too far. Where is it? There is a building here somewhere. And I think this might be the first time I haven't found the building immediately. Could be because the weather's really shitty, but... Oh. There it is right there. Because apparently I didn't look up the hill. But yeah, we're going to clear this location, which is going to be the biggest location we clear in this part. Automated too.
Hello, and welcome to Walden Pond.
Okay.
You are now standing in front of the cabin inhabited by transcendentalist writer and philosopher Henry David Thoreau, starting in the summer of 1845. For 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days, Thoreau lived in this cabin, hoping to gain a more objective understanding of society.
By living away from a society?
This experiment was influenced by Thoreau's interest in transcendentalist philosophy, which believed that people were at their best when truly self-reliant.
I don't know about that.
Land with few material possessions, Thoreau proved it skeptical to think that any outward improvement of life could bring inner peace and contentment. For more information, please visit the gift shop and purchase one of the many books on transcendentalism.
Sure.
Also available, t-shirts, coffee mugs, toys, and many other items to commemorate your trip.
So here's the thing, though,
Thank
right?
you for visiting Walden Pond,
Yeah,
sponsored
shut
by
up,
General
alright.
Atomics, maker
It's
of the
like
Mr.
living
Egg
off the land and
operating
everything,
system.
right, makes you a better person. Eh. I mean, because here's the thing, right? As soon as you need something, right? And be it you need something because it's something that like you desperately need, or it's just something you want, or let's say you're living off the land and like you have like a little farm, but like something happens and let's say you lose your crop, like you lose all your food, your harvest, right? So you need food, right? There are people that, well, I mean, and to be fair, as a good example, Fallout here, there are people who would go out, try and find a new source for that material until they can build it back until like they can, like let's say you had chickens and like a fucking wolf came in and ate all your chickens, right? And you don't have eggs now, right? Let's go with that. And let's say eggs were a big part of your diet. Always break those when you see them. They are always going to go off and make a lot of noise. Now, granted, right now we don't have rain here. Note to Tweez, Tweez, if you're reading this, then you're an idiot. This is the last time I tell you we're locking this door. Use the entrance in the sewer pipe. Next time you forget, I'm locking your ass out permanently, Walter. But yeah, there are people that would find a different way, find a different food source, something like that, until they could acquire more chickens somehow. Then there's people who would be like, man, I'm now hungry. My main source of eggs are done. Oh, look, my neighbor has eggs. I'm just going to go and steal theirs, right? And the reason I say that it's a good, that Fallout, it brings this as a very good example, is because obviously Group 2 would be the Raiders, Group A would be, well, in this game, it would be us and the people that are with us. Makeshift bombs, which is why you always gotta sneak around seemingly empty places. But yeah, because like you're gonna have people like that. Now, obviously,
Sweet.
a lot of people. There's some people where you would know exactly. Here's the thing, right? You know who's gonna be in Group 2. Like there are people who, as soon as you meet them, after there's people who would very clearly fall into Group 2. But Group A, the people who would like try and find like a more peaceful way, try and like work out something, whatnot. A lot of people like to think that they would be in Group A. A lot of people would also be wrong about that because a lot of people, when push comes to shove, turn into real assholes. So that's a master lock door, which I don't have any skill points anyway because I use them all to build stuff. But we need 4 more levels to get that anyway. And in all honesty, it's master level locks. Don't feed the bears. Yeah. It's funny that they have those signs because obviously there's the Yao Guai, Yao, whatever. They have the bears in this game. I don't think they spawn here. Like, obviously they're not going to spawn here right now. I'm level 14 and they are a very high level enemy. But I don't even think at higher levels do they spawn in this area. But anyway, like I said, it's good to have because it's always nice to have options, but overall it's not there's very yeah there's very few I feel at least that come to mind, master lock doors or master lock terminals that don't have alternate ways of getting what's behind them. Now obviously like the cryolator that we got out of Vault 111,
So this
you
guy
know,
made sure he had everything he needed before he started his camping trip in that little shack up top. Double checked his list and everything. That's why they call it being the road. Oh, and this guy.
Hey, Tweez, what's happening? Look, Tweez remembered that that door was locked. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he may have, or, he may have read that note. If I was Tweez and I saw that note, I'd take it down in case somebody else read it, because it really makes you seem like an idiot. Yeah, you would have thought that it would have been bad news, but I mean, it's only fortifications like that only work if like you can actually keep track of the actual entrance. But unfortunately, they built the fortifications around the corner from the entrance, which I guess isn't horrible, because I mean, somebody coming out here, and then they can unload on them. But I mean, the chair here, like, why wouldn't it be facing there? Like, turn it so that it's facing the actual door that you would expect people to wander in from, right? Um, what was I talking? Oh, right, asshole people. Yeah, because I mean, and I mean, this guy's name is Bear. I didn't feed him. I fed him a bullet. Um, I mean, it happens in movies a lot, and obviously you have to take everything like that with a grain of salt. But I mean, there's plenty of, because obviously they're trying to make a movie, they're trying to make it entertaining. They're gonna blow everything out of proportion. Oh, that was Tweez's head that I was looking at. Or they're gonna blow everything up. Was Tweez a chick, or just had long hair? Oh wait, where's the body? Tweez was not a chick. Um, but I mean, there's plenty of instances. Oh yeah, here's one of the items that you want from here. Permanently gain better prices when buying from a vendor. Why I sold my mother. There's actually a few unique items in here. The note from Tweez was also one of them. But yeah, there's plenty of cases in history too where it's like something went wrong with some society and they decided these guys have what we want. We're gonna take it. And I mean, to be fair, you look at like a lot of tribal societies. I mean, like all over the place, like tribal societies, like the Americas, Europe, like anywhere where there wasn't some kind of like centralized like police force, military, whatever, right? Oh, there's Whiplash.
Nothing there now. What do you think?
I don't know. Jump in the shadows.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Whiplash and Walter.
There you are, you little.
Unfortunately, missed Whiplash's head, and I guess I should have aimed for Walter first. He did have all the armor on, because that's why his headshot didn't kill him. But yeah, like tribal cultures and that, there's so many instances in history where it's like, hey, these guys have got this, so you know what, we're just gonna go and kill them all and take it. I mean, the this that they're looking for could be anything. Could be food. Could be hell. It could just be people. I mean, there's lots of I mean, some of the biggest slave traders in history would have been considered tribal by today's standards.
Lock's really strong.
Oh, master level lock. Hang on, where's there he is. Walter, does this gift shop key open this safe? Sure does. But yeah, like it's a very common thing, and like, and I mean, once again, there's a lot of things where it's like, oh, but I wouldn't do that, or it's like, or and like you see this a lot too when it comes to like people talking about slavery and that, where it's like, oh, but if I lived back then, I would have been working on the railroad. I would have, stood up for the people, whatnot, right? And it's like, you saying that, right, is very conceited, because while I can't say that you wouldn't have. At the same, you saying that you would have compared to everyone, like you wouldn't have let it happen like everyone else did, is then placing yourself as somehow superior to every single person back then. And the thing is if you didn't, like, you didn't live back then. I say back then, technically, there's still slavery today if you go to the right countries. Oh, what do we get this time? Souvenir magnet cat. Got one of the souvenirs. Mining helmet, which I don't think the mining helmet actually gives you a light in this game. Because I mean it.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, there's. I forgot that that's where it was. The Big Jim pipe wrench, 20% chance to cripple the target's leg. And I do believe that 20% chance you don't have to hit them in the leg. Like, you can smack them in the head and all of a sudden they'll be like, ah, my leg. But yeah, because like everybody's like, oh, if I was in this situation, this is how I'd react. And while you can guesstimate, like you can generalize where it's like, ah, if I was in that situation, you know, I would do this, I would do that. You can't know until you are in that situation. I mean, like, there's a lot of things where it's like, oh, you know, these stupid people in horror movies that do this instead of that, you know.
Ah, the Commonwealth. One big mess after the next.
But then once again, you know, until you're in that situation where you have the mass serial killer chasing you, you don't know that you wouldn't run up the stairs for no apparent reason. There's also an overdue book. I picked it up. I didn't mention it because I didn't realize that's. I very mechanically pick up anything that I see. Hello. I don't know how I didn't set you off before or notice you before. I mean, I was crouched. Although I didn't notice you before either. Did they put more bombs out here? Like, did they hear me walking around out here and they're like, ah, oh, you gotta fucking. I think they're gone. Let's plant, like, more bombs? I don't think that's a thing, but I mean, weird. But yeah, because it's always funny where it's like, oh, I know what I'd do in that situation. It's like, you know what you'd want, that you would want yourself to do in that situation. All right, so that's location 1 clear. That was the biggest location we'll clear in this part. Well, I don't know about biggest size-wise, biggest, like, things to do wise it is anyway. The next location is, oh, here it is, west. Actually going to be another settlement that we're going to unlock here. Now, this settlement that we're going to, which you'll see when I get around to building it, it's kind of an annoying settlement because we have to clear it out. You can get quests to come here, but the quests are very generic. It's like Preston will send you there to clear out the ghoul problem, which isn't much of a spoiler as you're about to see the ghouls. Anyway, and there's also rad roaches, obviously.
Roaches. A fact of life, I'm afraid. What I wouldn't give for a wall to hide behind.
Yeah, but this is the Sunshine Tidings co-op. As you can see, free the robots. Oh, actually, come to think of it. Yeah. You can hear him, you just heard him say far out. There is actually a Mr. Handy here that we're going to keep. He doesn't count towards the settlement population. He is just a Mr. Handy. Like, later when we get, like, much later.
John, this silence is a bit unsettling, wouldn't you say?
I can't, his name is like Dr. Goodfields or something. Well, as soon as we see him, we'll run up to him. Um, but he doesn't count for that. Like later when we learn to build robots ourselves, which is probably much later. I'm trying to remember where, because I vaguely, because it's part of the automaton or Tron, whatever, the automaton DLC. Oh, there he is. Professor Goodfields, that's what it is. I thought it was Doctor for some reason. But yeah, when we learn to build those robots, they do in fact they do count as part of the population. And you may be wondering, because if you're listening, you might hear the click of me tapping my VATS mode and it not triggering while the body's in front of me, but I still shoot the body. I don't have to, but at the same time, I have 375 bullets. I'm not too worried about it. Alright. So yeah, this location here, I'll generally make this, I don't know what's with this,
It's quiet enough to hear the old gears spinning.
but I generally make this place my, I don't know, like my warehouse, basically. I don't know how to explain it. Like my supply lines and that will basically all radiate out from here as much as possible, at least for this region or the settlements that are in this region. I'll have like one or two people.
Let's make this quick, shall we? Oh,
Because yeah, I'll have like one or two people here
everyone's still alive.
on like defenses and that, and then like the rest of the like 20 population or whatever that I get here will be what do they call the guys? They'll be used to make supply lines. I can't remember because when you make them a supply line, they change from settler to something, and I can't for the life of me remember what that something is right now. But either way, I think there's only like one. Yeah, there should be one. There's a magazine here somewhere. I think I'm over encumbered, which is actually the first time we've had that. Yeah, had that in this part. Whatever. Once we oof. All right, let's just actually go. I'm not 100% sure if I can activate this without clearing out the ghouls. I may need to get the cleared symbol or like the cleared marker first, but I guess I could give stuff to Codsworth as well, but I'll just try and activate the workshop and dump stuff in here. But yeah, one of the annoying things about this place is those ghoul corpses. They don't disappear. Yeah, you need to clear the enemies from the location. Alright, well, you know what, we'll just throw all of my weapons in here, because they've got to be they've got to have a lot of weight to them. But yeah, a bunch of these ghoul corpses, some of them disappear, because you have the ones that are already here, and then you have the ones that we're creating by killing the ghouls that are here, and one of the two types don't disappear. Because it's like considered part of the settlement or some shit. It's very annoying. But you know, what can you do? But yeah, I'll have like all of my supply lines radiate out from this place. I'm not sure why I feel like doing it that way, but like every time that I play this game, I come here and I make this place like my supply post, you know, my stockpile. Actually, hang on. Apparently I was hitting the window frame or something. What? Are my batteries dead? I just changed these in like the last part. Now granted, I have played some games since the last part, but you know.
Nice.
Oh, surgical tray, bone saw. Nice. Got it under it. Looks like somebody else had a clinic built in here as well. Even used the same bed. Got the clipboard and everything. Sea captain's hat. Oh, I wonder if, because it's got the wheelchair there, I wonder if we're near Camp Crystal Lake. Have the arm wrestling guy. Bobby pins in the toilet for some reason. There's also this, for some reason, little shack out back. Yeah, I'm aware my batteries are low. God, I hate these batteries. They don't last at all, these ones. I really need to get myself some. No, bad ghoul.
Pining for the good old days.
Oof, one shot on that one. Oh, because that one was just a feral ghoul, not a roamer. That reminds me, I'm actually a high enough level to get gun nut level 2. Maybe, potentially my next perk point will go towards that, and then I can upgrade my guns again. Give them a little bit more oomph. Didn't get it, did I? No. Let's see. I think it's in one of these. I don't know where the hell is that. Because I know that there's a magazine. I guess it wouldn't be in something. I'm pretty sure all the magazines in that are sitting out. Are you laying on it maybe? No? I mean, I know it's in one of these houses. Looks, oh, there it is. Missed it on the floor.
Hell yeah.
Permanently collects extra meat from animal kills. One of the ones that's very useful for survival mode, absolutely worthless on every other game mode. Like outside of survival mode, I don't know anybody who ever actually uses like the cooking in this game. I guess before I do that, I should check that everyone. Yay, we can now build here. All right. Force month. Watched the second season of The Devil is a Part-Timer. Wasn't bad, but I gotta say the first season's definitely better. Wait, parts.
Got it.
But it wasn't bad, I guess. I don't know. Alan, we finally sprung a slave from the squares for our Freedom Farm Co-op, a Mr. Handy from the Nautaville suburbs. The tin can wigged out trying to go back to his slave owners, almost glued the fuzz onto us, so Johnny noodled it out and zonked its motivation protocols to just be. Now we call him Professor Goodfields, just digging the world as it be, owing nothing to nobody. Careful with his other protocols. These cans knuckle creeps if they go ape. Basically, they stole a Mr. Handy from somebody. So yeah, you can choose to shut him down, just be guard protocols, and return for maintenance. Now, return for maintenance, I do believe. And actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna get out of this for a minute. Obviously, shutdown unit shuts him down. I can't remember if the guard protocols that's one's Codsworth. Yeah, it doesn't turn them hostile.
Exterminate.
But it does make them do that, which isn't nearly as good. And I can't remember if you can turn them back on if you shut them off or not, but we'll leave him for now because since he doesn't count towards the settlement's population, he let's just throw other stuff in here so that we can go and then I can move it all. I don't know why I'm bothering to throw everything else in here, but I'll clear out my apparel here. So that we got, because I don't think that there's gonna, I don't remember there being very much to gather at the last location. Oh, fucking Christ. Couldn't just wait, like, maybe 5 more minutes. I really need to ditch these batteries. Take them out of rotation. They're like, are they either Rayovacs and like fucking knockoff shit brand batteries? They are rechargeable, but they don't recharge very well, and it didn't take them long to start being shit. All right. So yeah, we got one more location to go to, although it's that location. That's got to be that, but that one shouldn't show up as closer. Because as you can see, we got 2 locations on here. We got this one that looks like a trailer, and that one that looks like a church. And the church one is the one we're going to, but the fuck is this thing? Oh, big farm. Yeah, we're going, okay. Maybe it just, because it's square, it makes it look bigger than the church one. There's actually quite a few things around this location as well. Like random encounters and that, and I do believe, what level are we though? Well, 14, because there is a location near here where you can spawn a behemoth, but I do believe you need to be level 15 for behemoths to spawn at all. Alright, so this is the last location we're doing, which means we might hit 40 minutes, depending. But I don't think so, because this location does not. It's called the Lonely Chapel. It really should be an unmarked location. Because, like, with that, check behind here, that's it. That's the whole location. Now, you might be wondering, but what about this trapdoor? Well, this trapdoor leads to the Federal Ration Stockpile, which is that other symbol. That's on my compass there. That was this direction. Now, if we get up on this hill and get my sniper rifle out, if it wasn't so fucking foggy, yeah, if it wasn't so foggy, you'd be able to see that there's a, I mean, I guess you can see, yeah, there's a bunker there. There's a couple of bunkers in this location, and basically it's very much a raider outpost, and it has a fuck ton of people all over it, including like turrets and everything. I think it even has a sentry bot sometimes, depending on your level, so I'm not 100% sure whether or not it will. But if you come over to here in the Lonely Chapel, you can actually get in through here and enter through the back way, and you can actually kill the boss. Like, the boss is one of the first people that you come across that way. I don't think that there's...
Are you certain I'm the man for the job, sir?
Yes, Codsworth. I don't particularly think that there's any real reason to go the back way over the front way, unless you want, for some reason, just really want to kill that person. because like there's not real like I don't think that you can disable the outside turrets from the inside, but I'm not 100% on that. I mean, we'll find out next part. But yeah, that's where we'll be going next part is the federal ration stockpile, and then depending on how long that one takes, actually, to be fair, depending on how long that one takes, because like we may or may not go to Super Duper Mart, which is also nearby. There is technically one more location in between us and the Super Duper Mart, but the location is kind of tied to the railroad quest line, and while we can get in there, I'm not sure that. Oh, actually, to be fair, we can technically get in there, but I think it's behind a master lock terminal. So unless you're on the quest for the railroad, you need master level hacking, which we obviously do not have. But yeah, that's our 3 locations for this part. Next part will be at most 2 locations, because I know the federal ration stock, if not just the federal ration stockpile, because that's a pretty big location. And the thing with that too is if there is no way to disable turrets in that from inside and going through the back way, odds are we'll go through the back way, clear everything out that's inside, and then come back out the same way and go in through the front door so that we can have vantage points and snipe at the raiders and that are outside. But yeah, that'll be it for this part. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you on Wednesday for more.